distraction away with Vince from being fired.
It's Austin! McMahon's in the cage!
What's up, wrestling fans? Today we're counting down the top 10 wrestlers who didn't just dislike Vince McMahon, they outright hated his guts. These are the superstars who clashed with the chairman in and out of the ring. So grab your popcorn because this is gonna be a no-holds-barred expose. 1. Gail Kim. Starting off strong with Gail Kim, a revolutionary in women's wrestling. Debuting in 2003, she won the WWE Women's Championship in her very first match. But despite her undeniable talent, Gail felt sidelined. She openly criticized WWE and Vince for not utilizing her skills and accused the company of not promoting diversity. Frustrated with the lack of meaningful storylines, she famously eliminated herself from a battle royal on live TV and walked away from WWE for good. 2. CM Punk. Next up, the straight-edge superstar, CM Punk. In 2011, Punk dropped the pipe bomb heard round the world, venting his real-life frustrations with Vince and WWE's hierarchy.
There's one thing you're better at than I am, and that's kissing Vince McMahon's ass. Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I am the best wrestler in the world. I'm leaving with the WWE Championship on July 17th, and hell, who knows, maybe I'll go defend it in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe I'll go back to Ring of Honor.
Despite being a multiple-time champion, Punk never got the WrestleMania main event he craved. He was fed up with part-timers like The Rock taking spotlight positions. Health issues added fuel to the fire. Punk claimed he was forced to wrestle while injured, leading to his abrupt departure in 2014. His tell-all podcast with Colt Cabana pulled back the curtain on his tumultuous relationship with Vince, sparking lawsuits and leaving fans stunned. 3. Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose. Let's talk about Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose. A founding member of The Shield, Ambrose was a Grand Slam champion but grew increasingly disillusioned with WWE's creative direction. He was handed cheesy promos and hokey segments. Remember the gas mask and inoculations? Yeah, we'd like to forget that too. Feeling stifled and undervalued, Moxley let his contract expire in 2019. He then unleashed his frustrations on Chris Jericho's podcast, criticizing Vince's micromanagement and lack of creative freedom. 4. Ryback. Feed me more was Ryback's battle cry, but WWE seemed to leave him hungry. Initially skyrocketed into the main event scene, Ryback's push dwindled, leading to frustration over his booking and pay. He publicly demanded equal compensation for wrestlers, regardless of win-loss records, a direct challenge to Vince's traditional pay structure. After a contract dispute, Ryback left WWE in 2016 and has since been vocal on social media, even engaging in legal battles over the rights to his ring name. 5. Paul London, High Flying. Paul London was one half of the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions at one point. A notorious incident occurred when he smiled during Vince's scripted death segment, leading to backstage heat and his eventual release. Post-WWE, London hasn't held back, openly criticizing Vince's management style and expressing zero interest in returning to the company under his leadership. 6. Nails, Kevin Watchholz. Remember Nails? If not, it's probably for the best. Portraying an ex-convict seeking revenge, his gimmick was as short-lived as it was intense. In 1992, Nails allegedly assaulted Vince McMahon in his office over a pay dispute, claiming he was underpaid for his performance. The altercation was so severe that it led to Nails' immediate termination. He later testified against Vince during the infamous steroid trial, but was considered a hostile witness. Talk about bad blood. 7. Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. Scott Steiner brought his freaks and peaks to WWE, but felt the company never truly got behind him. After a high-profile debut in 2002, Steiner was thrust into lackluster feuds and hampered by injuries. He later accused Vince of holding him back and criticized WWE's product as boring. For years, Steiner was persona non grata, even reportedly banned from attending the Hall of Fame ceremonies. 8. Jimmy Jacobs. Behind-the-scenes maestro Jimmy Jacobs was a key member of WWE's creative team, contributing to storylines like the Festival of Friendship. However, the relentless grind and creative differences with Vince took their toll. In 2017, Jacobs was fired after posting a selfie with members of the Bullet Club during their invasion of Raw, a move that didn't sit well with Vince. Jacobs later revealed that working under Vince was challenging due to last-minute rewrites and constant changes, stifling the creative process.
Mind, you're one weird interaction away with Vince from being fired.
9. Bruno Sammartino, the living legend. Bruno Sammartino is one of wrestling's greatest icons, holding the WWF Championship for a combined 11 years. But as WWE's product evolved in the 80s and 90s, Bruno was openly critical of the company's embrace of violence and scandalous storylines. He distanced himself from WWE for decades, refusing Hall of Fame inductions. 10. Shane Douglas. Closing out our list is the franchise Shane Douglas. A pivotal figure in ECW, Douglas's WWE runs were underwhelming. Cast as Dean Douglas, a snobby teacher gimmick, he was never allowed to showcase the charisma that made him a star elsewhere. Douglas blamed Vince for saddling him with a lame character and not understanding his potential. After leaving, he became one of WWE's most outspoken critics, lambasting Vince's creative choices and business practices in numerous shoot interviews. That's about it. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.